So hi everybody, welcome. If you're in the Facebook group, come on into the Zoom meeting room. So I apologize, the graphic said Monday, but it is actually Wednesday, and we are actually meeting today, only today on Wednesday. So if you're new to the group, if you're in the room, and I know Eileen, I hope I'm saying your name right, this is your first meeting in here, so we're going to be meeting on Mondays. If anybody's in the group and you're viewing this, Mondays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time are our regular weekly meeting times. Hi Mark, hi Sue, hi Tammy, and anyone who's watching in the Facebook group, if you're in there and you want to chat with us now live, as we are live at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, you can come into the group. If you see this later in replay, certainly post anything you like at that time in the Facebook group. So today is our rah-rah session for the Blogging It Out Challenge. And what I said before I went into the Facebook group to go live was that this isn't going to be a super long session. All of our meetings are about 30 minutes because I just found that, you know, it's not really necessary to have an hour. I want us to touch base once a week and really connect through the meetings, but also I want to just give you, you know, some info and some structure if you need it, or answer some questions and things like that. But then the whole goal of this group is to take action to create your passive and your recurring income so you can have that laptop lifestyle. And so I don't want to take a half an hour of your time that you could be working on income, profit, money tasks, right? Those are the things that will grow your business, grow your income, and you want to focus on those. So how does blogging fit into that? How does blogging fit into passive income, recurring income, laptop lifestyle? It needs to be a habit if it's going to get you results, because if you're only blogging like once a month, you're probably not going to see very much happening from your blog. But what I like to use my blog as, it's interesting because when I blog, it just, because of probably just the kind of thought pattern I have about what a blog is, I usually tend to make them more of a personal type post filled with educational things, filled with tips, filled with advice, but often they can be ranty, often they can be more passionate than what might necessarily write in an email. Emails, you know, they tend to be more impersonal. I tend to write my emails more on the personal side, but even in that, you know, emails in general are expected to be more of a even almost corporate type communication, you know, much more impersonal. I flip that by making my emails personal, adding pictures, adding stories and stuff like that. But still, there's something different about starting on my blog. And so I am always thinking, does this belong on my blog or does this belong in email? And when I'm doing something like this blogging challenge, or I'm just trying to challenge myself to blog a lot more, like blog daily and get that content outside of my own little circle, my own little circle of influence, then what I want to do is start on my blog so that I can pull it into my email. So then I'm doing double duty. I'm getting that content outside of my own hub where more people can see it, but then I'm using that as the content that I send to my list. So it does double duty, and then of course it gets to go out to my social media following automatically. Of course it gets to go out through my push notices that I have set up. And of course it gets to go out through Missing Letter, which I use to schedule more social media posts throughout an entire year. And so that is absolutely building my passive and my recurring, because the things that I'm talking about within those blog posts are going to have affiliate links, they're going to link to my products, they're going to link to, if I occasionally am doing a coaching program, they're going to link to the Laptop Lifestyle Business Club, and that is all about creating my influence, building my income, and that's a money task. You know, if I send a blog post that turns into that goes out to my email list that promotes Laptop Lifestyle Business Club, and suddenly I've got one new member, just one new member, because my members pay $37 a month. That's $370 a year. That's money, right? That's a money task. And so, Tammy, I think, I haven't read this, but I think I've skimmed it enough as I was talking to know what you're saying. And I think you're saying, well, I'll read what you say. I think a lot of people don't blog because there's so much discrepancy around the meaning of what a blog is, or how long it should be, or where to post it, or how often to blog. There is, and, you know, there are no rules. Just like most things, you know, there's no real rules to email marketing, although a lot of people tend to make up the rule in email marketing that you can't email more than once a week, which I got as a rule right into my inbox from someone on my email list, which was interesting. Hi, Elizabeth. But there are no rules. I could email people 5 times a day if I wanted to, and there's really no rules for blogging. There's no rules for how you build your website. You know, we are completely free to be the creators of whatever we want. If you ask my advice, your blogging should be a money task. You should be focused on, how do I create profit from my blog? And this blogging challenge, you want to keep that in mind. You know, this session right here, right now, I want to tell you, think about who you're driving to that blog post and where you want them to go from there. And make sure it's clear to them that you are inviting them to take that next step. So this is sometimes a difficult concept to get, because what you want to do is start with the end in mind. You know, let me give you an example, and this is completely off the top of my head, so it's not really well thought out, but let me give you an example, because I know this is a difficult concept to get, and I know a lot of people struggle with it. Let's say you're like, yeah, I'd love to blog. I'd love my blog to make me money, but I don't know how, and I don't know how to give people a call to action. Is that something that you guys, can you all relate to that? Can you, is that a common issue with you? Like, you'd like to blog, you'd like it to be worth your time, you'd like to make money from it. Give me a comment if that is something that you would be struggling with. Hi, Tess. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Yay! We have people. Because first, Eileen was just the only one in here, and Eileen is new to the group, and everybody else who's in here right now is not new to the group, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty positive. And so I wanted Eileen not to be the only one. So we have more people in here, which is awesome. Yeah, so you guys let me know, is that a struggle? If that's not the struggle, what is the struggle with blogging, if there is any, or if you're doing awesome with blogging, post that in here too and let me know. But when I asked that, Tammy, you said absolutely. Eileen, you said you struggle with sliding in a call to action and it feels forced. Yes, I totally get that, because it will feel forced if it's not a natural fit. And I'm going to say natural so many times. Like, I've got natural affiliate marketing. I'm all for things feeling and being and, you know, connecting naturally. And I know exactly what you're talking about, Eileen, because when you kind of, what we want to do and what we should do is like speak from our heart, right? When we're blogging, we should speak from what we're passionate about. And you might just think of a topic and then just start writing. And then at the end, you know, you need a call to action. And I've done this lots of times. At the end, you know, you need a call to action. And so you say, you know, you've just written this great blog post. And then at the end you say, hey, I run a group called the Laptop Lifestyle Business Club. We're awesome. We meet every week. We talk about making money. We are building our laptop lifestyles. You should join us. But it really doesn't have any flow. It doesn't have a whole lot of great connection to the blog post I just wrote. And, you know, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's not a natural flow and a natural fit. So ideally, and it doesn't have to happen every single time, because sometimes you just have a message. Like, sometimes I have a message and I don't even really have a call to action, but I might put something if it makes sense, and I might not. But sometimes, like, the message is so strong and I just like sit down and I just type, and I've got it typed out in 20 minutes or, 30 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, and it just like flows, right? So in those cases, you don't want to stifle your creativity, you don't want to stifle your passion and things like that. But in as many times as you can strategically do, you want to start with, like, if I wanted to talk about the Laptop Lifestyle Business Club, I have to think of an angle. I have to think about, what is it that's going to lead people for that to make sense, and we could talk about how lonely. I could think, okay, if I'm thinking I want to promote the Laptop Lifestyle Business Club, that's going to be my call to action. And then I want to talk about, how working from home can be very isolating, very lonely. I can talk about the things that I've done. So the blog post is not all about the Laptop Lifestyle Club. It's going to be about the things that I do to beat work at home isolation, right? So I go out and I work from the coffee shop. I work from the library. I have accountability partners. I am part of membership sites. I run my own membership site. And I actually, it is actually much less lonely to have all of you guys as part of my club, right? So like real tactics, real things in a blog post laid out, and then the flow would go right from that to saying, I understand what it's like to be feeling isolated by working from home, especially, I broke my leg. I have a 15-year-old now, and I started when he was young. I broke my leg. I have another kid. I know what it's like, and I know how important memberships and mentoring through a group was to me, and that's why I created the club, and I invite you to join. You're going to love it. People are awesome in here, and on and on. So that would be a call to action. So I'll kind of walk you through that, just to kind of give you an idea.